Right, so it's been a while since I've been here. Apologies for that. Started a new job and been a little bit busy, but I'm trying to get back on doing it. And I said I'd do a Q&A ages ago, and the dogs showed up just as I started filming. What are you doing? 1 second. Come on, come in then. Come on. Come in. Whee. Okay, so the dog always comes down and tries to steal some knee sleeves or take some wrist wraps or do something mischievous, but he then gets very bored after a couple of minutes and leaves. He realises there's not much exciting going on down here at all. But what was the question? No, I haven't even got a question. I said, stop it. I said I was doing a Q&A, and the first question was, what is the best workout split? And the short answer, very short answer, is the best workout split is whatever you enjoy the most. Because if you get more enjoyment for your sessions, your output will be better, you'll do better in those movements, and everyone's different. Some people enjoy... Okay, you want to get down already? Fuck now. Yes, so I'd say the 3 main ones you consider for this are... See, he's already taken these. Are an upper-lower split, push-pull legs, and bro split or body part split. So at the moment I'm doing the bro split, always been push-pull legs previously. God, you're throwing me off here, what are you doing? Anyway, so upper lower, pros and cons, I'll do very quickly. Pros and cons, upper lower, you do a lot of compound lifts, good. You have a fair amount of time for recovery. If you're training 4 times a week, that's good. Good. Cons, probably the smaller muscle groups will get neglected to a certain degree. So if you're talking biceps, triceps, and especially things like rear delts and traps and that sort of thing, can get neglected. I mean, obviously, it all comes down to programming. It's like saying what diet's the best. It depends on how the person does it. So someone could have a very good upper-lower split that covers everything. Also depends on how much time you have, because if you have a lot of time that you can go to the gym in, but you can only do it a certain amount of times a week, upper-lower might be better. An hour and a half session, 4 times a week, could be better for you, potentially. Hello. You come back, what are you doing? Anyway, pros and cons. Pros and cons of the body part split. So at the minute, especially because I'm just training here and there's not much variation, I suppose, in the scenery or whatever, just coming in here and attacking one muscle group, saying, oh, I'm training back today or I'm training chest, is a bit easier mentally to really focus and hone in on that skill of training that muscle group, especially when it's something like back and that, or when you say chest, I'm not focusing on my shoulders and my triceps as well. I'm not trying to fit all this into one session and then do it again in a few days' time. So that is the benefit of the bro split. And also, you can really focus. You've got that 1 time a week. So in my head, it's a lot easier. You know, legs are, we're squatting and we're doing this. And for chest, we're benching. Shoulders, we're overhead pressing, or we're heavy shoulder pressing. Like it becomes a lot clearer, and it's a simpler split. I think that's the main benefit of it. Again, he's taking my wrist wraps. Again, the cons, I suppose, if you say it's a simpler split, are that, you know, you're not hitting the muscle groups twice a week as you are with push-pull legs. So maybe potentially less frequency, less volume, that can be a negative. And then you've got push-pull legs, which I've always sworn by, 3.5 years or whatever, and probably will go back to, in all honesty. Main benefits are you get to train each muscle group twice a week. You have quite a lot of volume, which can be good and bad because it's, you know, it's a lot of fatigue and it can be tough sometimes for recovery. But he's scratching at the door. Can I get through it? Can I just finish his answering this question, please? Come in. Come in. Come in. Yes, so that's the main benefit. But you've really got to turn up to every session. What are you doing? I think we're just going to have to end that question there. The answer is whatever you enjoy the most. Just ignore everything else I said and I'll take you back to the house. Give me a minute. Second question was, why are you vegan? Get asked that a lot, I suppose. I'll keep it fairly short. I think a lot of people have really serious ethical and moral reasons, and they really consider them and do it. I did it a few years ago and I enjoyed it. I stopped when I got injured, primarily because I got home and couldn't cook for myself, and trying to give my mum tofu was just, didn't have a clue. So I sort of went back into that because I couldn't really do things for myself. But yeah, I think I always viewed it as just the whole food. Again, like I say, there's a very wide definition when we talk about vegans. You could be vegan and eat like pure shit. You could eat exclusively junk food and not have a healthy diet at all. But if I'm talking whole foods, plant-based, that's what we're going for, right? I think that's the healthiest diet there is. And I wanted to be on the healthiest diet there was. I thought I focused so much on training and health and that sort of thing. I didn't just want it to be about, I didn't want it to be superficial. I didn't want it to be, oh, I just want to be, I keep getting big, I just want to be bigger and stronger. I thought, I want to be healthy if I'm doing all of this, I'm dedicating all this time to this thing. I want to be healthy as well. And I think as time's gone on, it has become a sort of animal welfare thing as well. And I think getting the dog, which is the dog you've just seen, really reinforced that, because he gets treated like an absolute king and he's constantly showered with affection and all of this, and it's just, why is he treated like that and then other animals are treated so badly? We just sort of ignore it. And I'll go into it more, I'm sure, in another video, and I don't think I've really unlocked any of the animal, I've never really explored it as much, but I'm sort of getting there. And I think my reasons for being vegan have evolved over the time of being vegan. And I just think, like, there's the dog festival in, is it Shaolin? I think it's Shaolin, in China. And everyone always goes insane, and there's always petitions about how these dogs are being treated, and oh, we can't let this happen. And the same stuff's happening here just to other animals, and it seems weird that there's like this hierarchy of what we care about, and that to me never made sense. So I guess that's part of the reason. So this question was, how do you avoid binging? And I think this was personal to me. How do I personally avoid binging? Like, obviously I know there are people with eating disorders and that sort of thing, which is far beyond my realm of being able to discuss or give advice on, far beyond it. But for me personally, I try not to spend too long in a deficit, because I think you sort of get to that point where you really just want to go off plan when you're really sticking to deficit. And I've never competed in bodybuilding, I've never done shows or anything, so I've never had to be on a really extended cut. If I wanted to drop a few pounds, I would just do it and then go back to how I was eating, or eat at maintenance, that sort of thing. I wouldn't stay in it for really extended periods. And also, I just don't think, I've never been a person that's bad. I really enjoy eating healthily. And I don't have too much of a problem. I don't think, oh, I really want to order pizza, I really want to order this, I really want to, it just doesn't happen much to me. And like I say, I eat a lot of food, and in my head it's very programmed that eating healthier food, and especially being vegan, having a lot of veg and I can have a lot of volume of food, my appetite is strong, so I just want to eat and eat and eat. And my way of regulating that and keeping myself relatively lean is that I do it with foods that are very low calorie, and I can just eat a hell of a lot of food. And I sort of think in my head, oh, I could have a pizza and I'd enjoy that pizza, but that'd be that'd be a lot more than I'd want it to be, and I wouldn't feel satiated. I think that's the main thing, is I just want to feel, I don't really want to be hungry at the end of the day. That's it.
Splice Original.
Right, what is your biggest motivation was the next question. And I think People lifting heavy, simple, staged, lean, ready, bodybuilding, all of this is impressive. And I think, Christ, it's a lot of work, like, fair enough, well done. But people lifting heavy is incredibly motivating, because you see a 10-second clip of this 60-kilo guy and he's pulling 700 pounds. And you go, wow, that's insane. But you look at that and then scroll past, or look at the next thing or whatever, but you don't see all the work that goes into that. And I think that's what's so impressive about it. And also it just is motivating. Someone lifting something heavy, you can see that they're putting everything into it. You can see that that's their absolute maximum potential. It makes you want to do it because you see how hard someone else is working. And you can see that when you look at someone's physique, so that's motivating in a sense. But to me, it's about people lifting heavy. Like, if I'm in a gym and a huge bloke comes in and he's shredded, I'll be like, all right, yeah, fair enough. But if someone's lifting really heavy and if someone is really impressive in that sense, I'm watching I'm far more interested in that. But the flip side of that point is that motivation's fleeting, and I don't think you can really rely on motivation to get you into the gym. Initially, sure, but it has to become some part of routine, because if you say whatever motivates you, I mean, the typical things are like people want to get more girls, or they want to do this and that sort of thing, but that stuff's not going to keep you coming back like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, battering yourself for that reason. Like, if you think at the top of a deadlift that bloke who's putting 700 pounds is thinking, oh yeah, the girls are going to love this. He's not. There are so many other things going on that keep you going in that sense, that it has to just be because you enjoy doing it. And because it's something that you love doing. And not everyone's going to love doing it. Some people are going to try it and think, that shit, that hurts, and I hate it. And that's fair enough as well. There'll be something else that they'll enjoy, that, like, people joining running clubs, I think is psychopathic. Like, I think that's just torture. I hate that, but other people love it, and that's their form of release. So, really, motivation, it's a tough one. You just got to do it. And if you don't enjoy doing it, no one's got a gun to your head, don't do it. Next question, what is the biggest gym sin? And this one is an easy one for me. The biggest gym sin is not putting your weights back, because, well, you're just a scumbag if you do it. Like, obviously, if you leave like a plate on or something, or you can't always unrack absolutely everything, I get that. Should be your intention, but sometimes you can't, fair. But if you've stacked a leg press and then you've left all the weights there, you're just an absolute mega twat, aren't you, really? Because you've stopped someone else using it. And if someone can't take those weights off, they now can't use that. And they're sort of looking around, just going, oh, shit, like, if you're going to be doing that, if the whole point of lifting heavy, I mean, when you deadlift 5 plates or whatever, and you're doing that sort of thing, and if people get heavier and they're deadlifting 7, 8, you really think they want to stand there and take all those plates off? No, the whole fun part is putting it on and doing the lift and everything, and they'd love to just walk away and leave it. But you don't, because you're not scum. So people do. And one thing I will say, when I was up north, when I was in York, the gym's spotless, clean, everyone put everything back. Down south, does not happen. So that's 1-0 for the north. So the last question, otherwise it's going to be really unnecessarily long, is what is better, dumbbell or barbell bench pressing? Again, do what you fancy. Do what you enjoy more, and for this there's no reason you can't do both. Just have one session started with dumbbell, have one session started with barbell if you want to. I personally just enjoy doing barbell a hell of a lot more. I just find it, again, it's for whatever reason you enjoy it. I think bench press, you sit up from that, and you've got a strong bench, and it feels good. And as silly as that may sound, that is a reason I enjoy doing it, so I do better at it because I enjoy it for even a reason that might be stupid. So I prefer barbell, but no reason you can't do both, and do what you prefer or do what you enjoy. So don't get drawn into that one. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll do more. Sorry I've been out of breath the whole time, but yeah, my cardio is terrible, and I'm only training pretty lightly, so that's not good. But thank you. Oh.